Welcome back to Hot Dog Sports Episode 8. Guys, how was everybody's Christmas? Let's talk about how everybody's Christmas day went. Brandon?
It was good. It's better than what I deserved. So I got some hunting stuff, some shoes, a book on how to talk to women. Yeah, that one hurt the heart, but it's okay.
Did you use it?
No, I haven't even looked at it. No, I did notice that the last chapter was on how to talk to women from another country, which I don't know what country we're going to, but it might come in you.
Yeah. Which one do you have in mind? DB, how did your Christmas go in Charleston? Is that right?
Yeah, before Charleston, my Christmas, you could say, was culturally accepting.
You're staring awfully intent at Moore. Who's, by the way, enemy number one tonight.
Yeah. Well, when is he?
Enemy number one is Moore. So.
Charleston was fun, though. I enjoyed it. Spent time with Lauren's family. Great people. Enjoyed being around them. Did some things up there. Good food, obviously. I got to have my favorite per usual, some seafood stuff. They gave me some nice things.
Good food? Good food out there?
Great food. Always great food. Love Shim Creek, a little area where you can pull up boats and dock them. So it was a nice little fun
What's Lauren's
spot.
family like?
Good people. Good people.
What's so funny about that?
They're good folk. I enjoy being around them. It's pretty weird. I don't know. I mean, it's probably the only, I think, family that would watch me walk in and be like, yeah, we love this guy.
Yeah. Awfully accepted.
I don't trust those people.
Jesse, how was your Christmas?
Dude, I was sick. I got sick. I felt bad. I wanted to cry.
I got Jesse a great gift.
You deserved it.
No, it's like Christmas Day. I was like, or Christmas Eve, bro. We were at Gee's. My stomach dropped. I knew that was the end of it all.
You deserved it.
Christmas morning, stomach hurt.
You deserved it.
I was out of it, dude.
So Christmas sucked?
No, Christmas never sucks. Santa never disappoints. It's one of my favorite people.
What'd you get? What was your best? All right, let's go with everybody's best gift. What did everybody get?
Time spent with loved ones.
All right, something that's not like.
Oh, you want me to be materialistic?
Yeah.
But that's not me.
That's false. You buy like new shoes like every chance you get. So what did you get for Christmas that you like?
Fashion's important.
Yeah. So what did you get? That's materialistic. You just said it's not you.
I got some chapstick.
Oh my god. It's good as you needed it. I'm tired of you crusting on the kids when you're talking. It was getting kind of annoying. You're just peeling them off.
But you said crusting on the kids, dude.
That's what you did, dude.
What? What did he say?
I got a taco salad maker.
What did you get?
Oh, dude, I got some shoes. Mary got me some clothes. Mary did a great job. I got some shmunyan. Shout out to the money man. I don't know, man. Just chilled, bro.
My dad shook my hand.
Oh my god. So what did the in-laws get you?
They shook my hand.
Did they wash their hands afterwards?
No, that's cap. You got some shoes too. What'd you get?
Oh yeah, I got some shoes, but I was more with money I'd got. I just went and bought them. That's mostly what I get anyways.
Money.
Just money.
Can't go wrong with that.
No, I can't, because then I can just go buy something I want. Yeah. I'm a hard person to buy gifts for.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're an angry person to buy gifts for.
I'm an angry person to buy gifts for. Well, when you have friends like you guys who are so thoughtful with your gifts.
Oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure I won Christmas.
Look at the card. You're welcome.
You are. Bo did give me this, Arian.
Yeah, so they got.
Thank you so much.
Y'all got.
Wait. Yeah, we need to talk about our Christmas.
Yeah.
I gave you a great gift.
Y'all got very nice.
I can't say that though.
Y'all did a very good job.
Brandon, just so you know, I actually got that gifted to me from Lauren's family as well, but a huge version.
I actually got,
which threw me off. I was like, "Oh my gosh,
Bo, can we show everybody the gift I got you?" Yes. Go get it. This is some of my finest work here.
Sad too.
Are we just bragging about gifts now? Oh, we gift stuff. I didn't realize we were this selfish.
I lost the club championship to my boy Luke Petey.
now officially his number one fan.
Hey, every year that Luke's won the club championship, the Dogs have won the Natty.
You know what? I'll trade that.
I will trade that any day of the
I
week.
bet you will. You're his freaking number one fan.
I'm your number one fan too. So, what was your best gift for Christmas?
Dude, that thing for the golf cart's pretty cool.
The TV is cool.
The
and
TV, yeah.
Yeah. I get pretty spoiled on Christmas, but I got some good stuff. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it. I got some good stuff. It was good. I had a great day.
Mm-hmm.
Good day with people and a good day materialized. It was pretty good. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's move into some football talk before we get into some Georgia Bulldog stuff. What is everybody's opinion on Michael Penix Jr. and the Falcons?
Hold up. Wait. Stop.
Get a mic.
Oh my God.
Hold on. It's all about Jesse. Are these the shirts that were made for us?
What is this?
Large? Who wears the large? Brandon, you wear the large? I think so.
What is this? Hold on.
Got a cannon of an arm.
Did you feel bad after Christmas and you went and got
No,
some more
these
stuff?
are from his
not
brothers.
Oh, is this from Matt?
Yeah.
Stats?
Or at least somebody in the
Oh,
more.
I don't see your 3XL.
Stats.
It's because it's still at your mom's.
Stats are for losers.
Oh, dude, come on.
Nice.
All right, let's check these things out.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. All right, so shout out to my brother Matt. He came down this past week for Christmas. Said he hooked us up with some shirts.
Stats are for losers.
Yeah, we got some official Hot Dog Sports shirts.
Dude, shout out that boy Matt, man. These are tough.
Yeah,
Hold on. Yeah, you showing everybody this stuff? Dude, look at this.
I got them.
At least somebody in the Moore family knows how to, like,
Hey man, shut up.
give some good gifts. Look at this, dude.
My wife isn't more. Be quiet.
Dude, hold on. This is true. Mary's pretty good.
Yeah, we got shut up, DB.
I'm putting mine on.
All right,
Hold on 1 second.
Freaking dumb. Yeah, shut up, my brother. He did a good job.
Matt, you're the man, dude.
Hooked us up.
so much, Matt.
Dude, I love it.
You're now my favorite
Dap Matt up for me, please. Thank
Yeah,
you. Matt,
Dap.
you're the man, bro.
Yeah. All right, now you.
Shoosh.
Michael Penix, stud.
No, actually,
Stud.
you think Kirk was a problem?
I think.
He's got a hose. Do
I
you think Kirk Cousins was a problem?
No. I think that the problem is outside the quarterback.
I don't think he was the problem. I was just being controversial.
Yeah, I don't think Kirk Cousins. I don't think Kirk Cousins. I don't think Kirk Cousins was a problem. I think that the problem with Kirk Cousins was he couldn't be the solution to what was going on. And so you're like, if you're gonna throw picks, you're gonna lose football games. Well, crap. I'd rather do that with with Michael Penix than with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins played, I thought, well enough to win the game last night. Jaden Daniels outplayed him.
Kirk Cousins
How about
never
that?
played
Michael
a
Penix
snap.
played well enough to win the game last night.
I hate-
genuinely think he did.
I hate the NFL. I hate the NFL playoff rule of how the whole game just comes down to a coin toss.
Overtime
Like,
rule.
Oh,
If Pat, what did I say? Did I not say overtime?
I thought you said playoff.
You said playoff rule, but
Okay.
it
I
means
hate
no.
the
I
overtime
understand
rule.
what you're
Yeah.
saying though.
Like if you're in a game against Patrick Mahomes and he gets a coin, like you're screwed.
No, I understand. what you're saying.
You don't even
Like,
have a chance. Like Penix never had a chance, and he led one of the most impressive drives to score. And that
Yeah.
pass he threw to
that
Pitts
laser.
was
and, like,
a missile.
Everybody talks about Kyle Pitts.
Swagger.
Kyle Pitts has got to step up. I've never that
Oh snap!
that whole last drive was him just force feeding Kyle Pitts the ball, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts made catches, contested catches,
Yeah.
and
So-
Penix has a hose, man. Yeah.
So this was a topic of a previous episode, but I'm gonna say it before I forget. So DB can have his Lenore Sellers for Heisman pick back. I have my new one, and it is John Mateer, the new quarterback at the University of Oklahoma.
Okay, so this is Brandon's one off-topic comment we're going to allow him to have. All right.
I get one a year.
The one he gets is
One a
John
year.
Mateer.
Yeah, you got it,
So go ahead with the Falcons.
I think if he was the starter all year, the Falcons would be sitting at a whopping 4-12 right now.
Ooh.
DB being negative.
DB
No, I just look. All right, I always go back to this. Falcons'
Let's hear it.
problem. It's not a knock on Michael at all. Falcons' issue starts with drafting. They've never been a team that's good at drafting whatsoever.
So you mean
but-
taking a
but-
quarterback for 100 and something K, then drafting a first round quarterback as well wasn't a smart idea?
Yeah, right. Like it's like if you think you're gonna Aaron
I thought it was
Rodgers,
genius.
Yeah, when we win the Super Bowl this year, everybody's gonna look real dumb.
Yeah.
like if you thought you were gonna be able to like do an Aaron Rodgers-esque with the Jordan Love or the Brett Favre,
That was a
Aaron
totally different situation.
it is.
Yeah.
Because
But
on the
I understand what you're
context
saying, though.
that
I'm
this
saying.
is a 26-year-old guy that has 3
Right.
knee surgeries, and I'm glad his ball looks great and phenomenal.
He's 24.
24,
yes.
sorry,
Go
but
ahead.
like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
already older. I mean, if he's a guy Atlanta wants, that's great. Don't expect Atlanta to win this division for the next 6 years. Then,
But and for me, what irritated me though was if you were going to get a quarterback high in the draft, you knew you had a first round pick. Why spend an arm, a leg, and a kidney on a quarterback that's old as dirt? Now
No,
I
I
get
agree.
it. That's cool. If you're going to get Cousins, that's cool. But then don't follow up with a first round quarterback. Get somebody else. And you
So-
could have taken Spencer Rattler late in the round.
So here's what we're gonna all come to realize very,
Sorry.
very fast with this Michael draft pick is 1, we messed up. 2, we're gonna be having to draft another quarterback next draft because the guy is so injury prone. It is unreal. The guy has a history of being injured.
So you're not saying from a talent wise, you're saying from a healthy standpoint.
From a health standpoint, no. From a talent standpoint, I think he's a top 25 quarterback in the NFL.
Oh wow, there's only 32 teams.
Exactly.
Well, at least he got 7 of them.
Like
All right.
like the only quarterback I think he's better than in this division is Derek Carr,
I respect what you're saying.
and that's a stretch.
I respect what you're saying, but I do think Penix is pause. I do think Penix is a very good quarterback. I do think it was dumb to have him and Cousins at the same time. I think if your strategy was to go, hey, let's go with a quarterback, and don't feed me. Oh, dude, the Falcons have driven me like they make me so angry since the Super Bowl because they didn't draft Gurley, they didn't draft Chubb, they passed up on all these guys, their hometown guys, and then dude, exactly, and then but then they sit there and then they draft Michael Penix Jr. and then they have the audacity to say he was the best guy at that time.
No.
Brock Bowers was still available. I don't care if you have 2 tight ends. Guess what? You just took a quarterback, so now you got 2 quarterbacks. You could at least been running. You could have put Pitts at a receiver option and just had Bowers put his hand on the ground.
Yeah, no. Another thing too that makes me mad. This whole concept is, what has this Atlanta offense done the last 2 weeks? Religiously, they have ran the football religiously. You didn't do that with Bijan. Bijan's looked good. I still don't think he's a top running back in the league, but he's looked good.
I respect you.
He's
I
looked
respect you for
good.
saying that. Good.
Okay, but
Good.
like that's what they've done. Why didn't you do that with Kirk Cousins?
True.
Why didn't you become a run first offense? That's because you truthfully don't believe, like deep down, that this guy's the answer.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden the whole offense dynamic changes, and don't give me that whole he's because he's a rookie nonsense. Because look at every other team in the league that has rookie QBs. What are they doing right now? They are throwing the football down the field.
Yeah, Jane Daniels stud.
Jane Daniels is legit.
Stud.
He's
Go-
legit.
What do you have to say, Jesse?
Bo Nix is better than Michael.
Bo Nix. That's my dark horse, man. I've been saying it.
I can't believe I have to say that. He is.
He's so good. He's so
That part
he's
is
smart.
Is JJ McCarthy is
Dude.
going to be better than
Oh
him.
my gosh, JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy was my pick that I thought was the dumbest pick ever, and he has made me look stupid because he's played so well.
Who?
JJ McCarthy?
JJ McCarthy hadn't played a
The Vikings?
snap all year.
That's Sam Darnold's been playing, bro.
I thought McCarthy played some.
No,
No, McCarthy's been injured all
Who am I
year.
thinking of then?
I don't know. There's Bo Nix,
Drake May?
Drake May.
Drake May.
At New
Excuse me.
England.
Drake May.
Patriots?
Drake May. Yes. Drake May.
Drake
I
May-
thought Drake May was the
Drake
dumbest
May's
pick
legit
ever.
too.
He's pretty good. Excuse me. Drake
He's
May.
like a
That's what I
Herbert.
meant. Drake
He's
May.
like Josh Herbert.
I think he's more like mobile than Herbert, though.
He
I
can
think.
move. They
He
run
can.
him a lot.
Herbert's got a hose.
I mean, like, it is what it is. If we want, to glorify, the next Desmond Ritter, but because he's left-handed and can throw a beautiful spiral, then that's fine. But I'm telling you, Atlanta won't win the division for the next 5 years.
I like Penix. Let's hear what Jesse's got to say. Well, Jesse, what are your touches on this, and we'll move on. Do you have anything else you want to add? Okay.
I think Atlanta is good enough to like win.
They don't have a good defensive line, so they never will.
Yeah, they should have got like the pass rusher, but you can't I can't be upset with the front office if you thought if you just fell in love with Michael Penix, right, and drafted him there,
They fell in love with Vic Beasley.
They did fall in love with Vic Beasley. That's true.
Don't give me that. The front office can't draft. That's the whole reason
It's
Bill
different.
Belichick didn't come to Atlanta.
It's a different front office, though. Fontenot.
Or whatever his freaking name is.
Terry Fontenot.
Whatever. Like, I don't care. He's not.
That's a tough name to repeat. Sorry.
He's not a good front office manager. The guy does not know what he's doing.
No, I mean, there's definitely. I mean, there's dudes out there that have shown to be a little bit better, but like I think what happened a few years ago with the Rams when they sold out and they got Stafford, and then they turned around, they won. The league has turned into this. Well, it's just about winning now, right? Like it's whatever it takes to win now. We could sell everybody, and as long as we win a Super Bowl, then it was worth it, right? So you go and you get Kirk because you feel like your team's good enough athletically, but you didn't have a quarterback.
Our defense has been pretty good.
Right? Defenses play well. And then in the draft,
Very
right,
good.
you just signed Kirk to this huge deal. But then, like, what happens if in the draft process what happens in the draft process if you fall in love with Michael Penix? I mean, if you fall in love with him, you've got to take him.
Then you wouldn't have signed Kirk.
This is true. That's the only issue. You
weren't-
took both.
You weren't so.
Can't take
They already
both.
had pro workouts
You can't
going
take
on.
both.
You'd already
It
seen
wasn't-
this kid play.
And it wasn't
pro
like the
football.
Rodgers and
Have
Love.
him.
Like you've had Rodgers. You know Rodgers on his way.
I'm
out.
not saying it's the same as I'm saying what happened. What I think happened was they were like, we got to win. Like we've got to make a big move at quarterback because our team's good enough to win right now. Like we should be winning our division.
Then you should have
And that's
went
honestly
and
not
tried
true.
to trade to number 3 and go get the best quarterback right now in that draft class.
But no, they were trying to go and get like an established quarterback. They didn't. I don't think Atlanta wanted.
Established.
I don't know if Atlanta wanted to like. I don't know if
taking
Atlanta's
Bo Nix.
plan was to take a quarterback in the draft.
Taking bonus.
I don't know if that was Atlanta's plan.
No, it wasn't because Atlanta.
That's what I'm saying. And I get that's what DB's saying though is like the front office. That's so dumb. How do you not have a plan? Like and then you just panic and say, "Let's take the freaking lefty
Yeah,
from
but you
Washington."
say having a plan in the draft. Like, what if your plan was to take somebody else who you expected to be there? Then they get drafted, right?
So who?
Then there's two options. I either go to the second guy I had on my board who's available. Hopefully he's available, right? The next available person I had on my board. Or I go with the best available player in the draft.
So quarterbacks were on their board, like their idea.
But what if you fell in love with Michael Penix, right? And you're like, look, this kid's killing it. What if Atlanta was not the only person who Michael Penix was high up on their board? You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of guys Atlanta fell in love with and drafted.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think that
we got Kyle Pitts instead of Jamar Chase.
I don't think you. First off, you can't have hindsight in the draft. You can't have hindsight in the draft. You can't. I mean, Amon Ross St. Brown was like the 14th wide receiver taking in his draft or something like that, bro. There was like 10 dudes taken above him. You can't have hindsight in the NFL draft. You can't because it's always going to burn you. I think that they were like, we've got to win now. I'm a GM, so the moves I make are going to determine whether or not I keep my job. You go out and you get a Kirk Cousins because you have to pay him a bunch of money, but he's a good enough quarterback to win. I don't know if Kirk Cousins is as good as everybody chopped him up to be because let's be honest,
He's won one playoff game
Well,
in
no.
his career.
they were talking about like he had a really great start last year before he got hurt, right? Like he was like leading the league in all these categories. Sam Darnold is also balling out right now. It's the same exact Minnesota team. Sam Darnold was a bust.
Yeah, maybe Justin Jefferson's.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe
Addison.
Minnesota was really good. Maybe,
And what's their record right now? Like, aren't they leading their division? Like Minnesota's
bro, it's like
14 and 2.
Yeah, it's like Minnesota versus
Shout out Haven.
Detroit. So I'm just saying, like,
no, time out there, and that's where I'm gonna disagree with you because when Kirk Cousins before his Achilles injury last year, Minnesota was 6-2 or 7-1. So don't give me that nonsense.
what nonsense?
That like all of a sudden, was Kirk Cousins that good or is it Justin Jefferson? Like it didn't matter what quarterback you threw into the Atlanta scenario, it wasn't going to be good because you weren't ready to be good in this moment. Like I agree with you. The win now.
Michael Vick
concept.
could have won us a few games.
Well, yeah, but like it didn't
Vic
matter
could've
who
won
you
us a
threw.
couple.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Kirk Cousins lost us. Kirk Cousins threw 9 interceptions in 5 games. Okay? If Kirk Cousins throws 5 interceptions in 5 games, we win 4 out of those 5 games. Like, the reason he's not starting for Atlanta is because they can single-handedly look at those games over that 5-game stretch and be like, you are the reason we lost. You threw the ball to the other team. Like when it's late in the game, we're driving, or our defense holds them.
Like Carson
Right.
Beck.
There's look at the first game of this year. We lost to Pittsburgh. And it was like 18 to something, right? They kicked 6 field goals, and we couldn't score enough in the red zone. Like it's like Atlanta they have a right to bench Kirk Cousins.
No, they have a
And
right.
you're bringing up a point like, well, they were no, he was very good last year with Minnesota, which is why he got the huge payday. Everybody's like, dude, this is an established quarterback. He's won football games everywhere he's won. He hasn't won big games, right? But he's won football games everywhere he's been. But I'm just saying Minnesota's still winning football games without him with Sam
He's
Darnold.
got the same amount of playoff wins as Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, but Lamar Jackson has 2 MVPs.
That's great.
Who would you rather have?
I want the winner.
I'd want Lamar Jackson.
Well, yeah, who wouldn't? And we could have had him, but guess what? What did Atlanta do?
Just like Gurley and
Yeah, but
Right,
I don't
because
like
again,
the whole hindsight thing.
the issue is not the players on the field. The issue is always going to be that front office, and until Arthur Blankenship just finally grows a set and realizes that, right, it's not the coach on the field. Right, you can only do so much with what is provided with you on the field in the NFL.
Oh, I agree. Talent,
And I mean that goes back down to like what makes a good coach in college, right?
Yeah.
Can you recruit the guys to get there to help you out? So I don't know. Again, I just think the whole draft was just a kind of a dumb scenario, and I'm going to stand by that. Like, and that's no knock on Penix. Penix, I hope you're a Hall of Famer and you're a stud if you can make it long enough. And Cousins, I hope you can find success somewhere. But I think taking both you guys at the same time was just stupid, and we should have taken Brock Bowers because he was available. But whatever.
I think Penix is going to be fine in the NFL if he can learn.
He's a stud.
Like if he can
He'll figure it
adjust
out.
to what's going on, because like he's got a cannon for an arm, right? Like and like that's the one thing with Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter threw the ball, and you were like, "But that's a lollipop." Like that's going to get picked off. That's the first thing that you got to be able to see with the quarterback, though, right? Like,
God, you're literally making the case for
You
the
want
Colts
to
draft.
step into any of this? You good on this? You want no take on this?
couldn't win games though.
I'll lead you off.
That's what I'm
on
saying.
that. Okay,
If Michael
I'll lead you off
Penix
on
can
that.
figure it out, because there's things he's got to get better at.
The raw intangibles that he has are unbelievable. All right, I just do not believe he can elevate his game enough to be like a pro style QB.
Okay.
I wish he'd run the ball, but I know why he can't. But I wish he'd run the ball.
He can't.
All right, so here we go. Next topic. Okay. After we've seen the first round of playoffs in college football, what do we think about Georgia's path now to the national championship? And do you guys feel that anyone now poses a threat more so before? Like, are we more like, how do we feel about the Notre Dame game? How do we feel about the Ohio State beatdown? How do we feel about just really everybody? Like, how do we feel about Bo's Hallmark story with Texas? Do we think they can make it there? What do we think? Like, let's hear it off, because we know
I'm gonna
Heupel
Caillou Jr.
got a little spanking from Daddy, and I am anti Ohio State more than I am anti Bama, but they looked good. So let's see what you guys got to think about this.
Well, first I'm gonna start with this. I wish there was Alexa in here because I would say Alexa play Deads by Amigos.
Just Google,
But we don't need to play it.
Yeah, right.
Just the intro of it. If you know the song, play it. You'll see what I'm catching at. Second, Ohio State and the Tennessee game, you saw what happens when you put two offensive guru-minded head coaches go together, and the other coach has better defensive athletes on the field.
Oh, you paid for some expensive athletes.
Yeah, and that's all it was. Ohio State was just better defensively. They were.
Yeah,
they were. I think I respected Tennessee too much, and that's my fault.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as Notre Dame goes, you better find out who Daddy is. Penn State, or as I like to call it, but I can't say it on the podcast, unfortunately. A certain you. Boy, them and Boise State is about to be the most boring game of the century. That being said, Bo, I don't think there's one team that scares me.
What do you think?
Doesn't.
What do you think?
I think all we have to do is get past Notre Dame and we're set. Not like on our side of the bracket, because I think Notre Dame, and I listened to Kirby Smart's press conference today, and I agree with what he says. Like, They're so physical up front. If you look at like the NFL draft every year,
They're big.
they always have
boys
offensive
are
or
cornbread,
defensive
man.
linemen
Touchdown Jesus.
getting drafted in the first round every year.
Yeah.
It's going to be a physical game. They're without their
For
best
a half.
defensive player, but I don't care. I've already thrown some change on the dogs, and I'm going to do it again.
So
I am not concerned about a 1-point spread. The dogs are going to win by 10 plus. Then we're going to cruise past either Penn State or Boise. Who
it'll be
cares?
Boise.
But the scariest team in the country right now is in Ohio. I mean, that is. I said if they rematched
The
in the Big
Bengals?
Ten. Shut up, DB. I said if they rematched in the Big Ten championship that Ohio State would win that game, and I believe Ohio State wins. Ohio State's going to beat Oregon.
Real fast. My thing with Notre Dame, and the reason I'm not worried about the physicality standpoint as far as just going back and watching games, watching films, is they do not rotate anyone on defense.
Ohio State?
No, Notre Dame.
Oh,
They
Notre
don't
Dame's-
rotate.
They're
at
gonna get
all. And not
gassed.
just that, they play a lot of man coverage.
Yeah,
And when you're playing another team that matches your physicality,
fast.
that catches up to you eventually.
I think your boy Arian Smith puts over 200. By the way,
Oh no, I know.
I
know.
I'm willing to think
I know.
Arian puts over 200 because I don't think they can keep up. And if you listen to the pressers this week, Jesse, you got next. I'm sorry. If you listen to the pressers and everybody's been talking to Arian this and that, and Mike Bobo talks about, it, he's like, dude, they can't cover him. Like we throw it to him so much because he's always open.
Yeah.
And then Aaron's even like discussed like it's his fault. He misjudges a few balls, bad this and that. But I don't know. I think him and Gunner's got a good little connection, and I think that we're going to use that speed. And they're not going to be able to stop Arian. I think Arian has a crazy game. I'm thinking 2 or 3 touchdowns and over 200 yards. Might be a stretch, but
No.
I think it's possible. I just don't think they. I think they're going to be so big up front trying to stack the box, and they're going to think like, okay, they got this new kid Gunner, and they're going to try to run the ball. Well, guess what? Gunner Stockton set freaking touchdown passing records and the passing yards record in Georgia. This kid can throw the ball. He's going to be airing the ball out in Arian. All right? If Arian catches the ball, dogs by 50. Go ahead, Jesse. Sorry.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. I mean, we obviously would love to see that, but
I think it's just going to be low scoring, running the ball like crazy. Both teams trying to run the ball.
the stereotypical what you think it's going to be. Just like the big guy versus big guy, who's going to give in first.
Yeah, just wearing on them. I think that's all. I think that's going to be
What do you think?
Georgia's game plan
I think the dogs
with Stockton. I think that's all Notre Dame can do is try and run the ball.
I don't
They're-
think
they're good
Notre
at running
Dame
the ball.
scores more than 10 points.
Yeah, I mean Notre Dame played the worst team in the playoffs and struggled. Notre Dame played the worst team in the playoffs.
I wouldn't say
I think-
they
no.
did not struggle. They dominated that whole game into the fourth quarter, and then they scored 2 garbage time touchdowns. There was no struggle.
Granted,
in that
like
game.
you take a 98-yard touchdown run away.
Hey, who called that play right before it happened? By the way,
Congrats, you did.
Oh, yeah.
You've only had one good football take now up here. Like
Oh,
besides that, like what did Notre Dame do that? What did Notre Dame do that was so efficient and so just wow against Indiana? Tell me.
Nothing.
Okay, so how were they so dominant that game?
I never said it was
I get what-
Indiana never had a chance in that game.
I get what Brandon's saying. It was kind of like
chance.
watching Georgia play like a Kentucky team, where you're just kind of like, dang, the dogs are running control of this, but we're not exactly putting it away. That's how it kind of felt. Like Notre Dame feels like they're in charge, but you're right. Like they weren't blowing them out like when we turned on Ohio State and Tennessee, where it's just like, dude, let them up for air. Like relax. Like Tennessee, you've already beaten Tennessee. Relax. Like Notre Dame definitely kind of was like, hey, we're gonna. It seemed like they were just playing like to their strength, and it was like, hey, we're just gonna control the ball, and we're gonna just be more physical than them and slow the game down. And I can kind of see both your points. It definitely seemed that Notre Dame seemed more in control, but it wasn't a blowout by any means because Notre Dame they're not explosive. Riley Leonard doesn't throw the ball downfield.
What beats Georgia's defense?
Explosive quarterbacks that can run
You
around.
realize that-
Athletes. If we can get out athleted, we can lose.
Indiana to 3 points in the first 3 quarters. That is domination. They didn't score the garbage time. So my point is right. I don't care what you say about the domination.
You're
They
both
got
your point.
dominated
There's
the whole game.
there's not a wrong.
I'm sorry.
There's
There's nothing impressive about the game, but it was a complete domination.
I'm sorry your feelings got hurt. Just sit on the beanbag.
There's definitely not a wrong
Jesus,
point. Here.
Children.
Beanbag's nice.
Children. I'm
This is-
sorry,
this
Odyssey.
is-
That
There's not a wrong point here.
Listen, I can admit when I'm wrong. I'm not wrong.
You guys
Sure.
both make very,
You have
very
some
intelligent points. I understand both where you guys are coming from. Jesse, what do you think about that?
About what?
Notre Dame. What or any more? Any other comments about it?
I think Notre Dame's a good football team in the
Or
sense of
Ohio State. Or who
Ohio-
scares you? Who
Ohio
scares
State. So Oregon
you?
scares
I
me.
agree.
Just
Ohio State scares me. Just a
Oregon scares me because they have the best quarterback play. They do. Like they're loaded with athletes. Dan Lanning is going to have that defense in good
touch.
spots.
Manning will be all right.
And Dylan Gabriel is the best quarterback in college football this year. He just is. Like he's played more football than anybody in college football. He's got a good enough arm. He's a good enough athlete to scramble, and he's in a great situation right now. I mean, we got to think about it. Best thing that happened to Bo Nix was what? He went to Oregon, right? I think that Dylan Gabriel's having that same kind of season up there in Oregon. Which the team that scares me the most outside of Oregon is Ohio State. Ohio State has the best athletes.
Very much so.
Their wide receiver core is filthy. And that's what they did against Tennessee. Quick was like, bro, like that Will Howard, he sat in the pocket and he threw the ball deep.
Dude, and by the way,
That was like, bro, if he can do that again, I'm scared. If he can do that stuff again, I'm scared.
dude, he was throwing the ball on those out routes like Jake Fromm, man. Those things were nice.
Smith deep, bro. It's just like
Bro,
But
so good.
that's been Will Howard's issue his whole career is consistency
Yeah.
with that kind of play.
Yeah.
Now,
He's a sneaky athlete,
no,
too,
he's
by
a
the way.
sneaky athlete. That being
can run.
said, I think this is
back.
the. I don't think either of these teams though play in the national title game. Whoever wins that game,
What do you
Texas.
Who and who?
Ohio State or Oregon.
Oh,
Who do you have on that side now? Tennessee's out.
I really think it's Texas now.
Oh! Somebody get the Christmas music playing because the Hallmark channel's on, baby.
All right, that was stupid.
I really hope it is because I really do think it would be such a cool story. Like I just do. Woodring wins it by 3, but I'll just manifest and I'll put a little side bet on it with Vegas. But yeah, I think Ohio State brings the whole element of, hey, we got some athletes, we can throw some random stuff at you, and I would rather play Oregon because. Man, because I mean, what have you seen through the years when Kirby played Saban? I mean, obviously, Kirby finally got him, but it's just like that little brother syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Like if we play Lanning, like you're playing the big brother, you're playing daddy, right?
Yeah, but Lanning don't walk around like a little brother, Bubba.
No, neither does Kirby.
No, I know.
That's what I'm saying. But
Like,
Kirby Smart is. Kirby
No,
Smart.
I
There's
know,
no
I
one
know.
better.
But you see my point.
Yeah, like I would say Sarkisian walks around like a little brother.
Yeah.
But like Lanning doesn't strike me as that kind of guy.
Well, I don't think Lanning cares about his image as much.
I think Lanning's piss and vinegar.
Lanning wants to win football games. He's got the Kirby mentality of we don't really care about the image. Where
Yeah.
Sarkisian's like, hey, let's get really flaunty and let's get McConaughey here right on my back hip. And let's
It's like last year when everyone got their feelings hurt.
Cowboys.
It's like last year when everyone got their feelings hurt before the
Lame.
Oregon-Colorado game. They're playing for likes. We're playing for championships.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
everyone was like, "Oh, why would he say that? That's wrong."
Yeah.
Well, it's the truth. That's how Dan Lanning is.
Absolutely. So what do you guys predict to see? Georgia versus Notre Dame. How do you think the game goes? Like, give me details. Like, I want to hear some details of how do you think this Georgia Notre Dame game is going to go?
Complete domination on the defensive side of the ball. They're not scoring more than
MVP?
defensive or offense.
Both sides. I want details. I want to feel it. I want to feel like I'm there. Right now.
The MVP on the defensive side will be none other than Jalen Walker.
Cool.
And offensive MVP is going to be Dominic Lovett. Nope. There's only one fitting answer to this, actually. Gunnar Stockton, offensive
Ooh, I would love
MVP.
it. That'd be awesome.
I'll try. Go ahead.
Well, how I think the game's going to go.
Yeah,
to
I want to
MVPs.
hear it.
So I think for the first half of it, I think it's going to be a 10-3, 10-7, 7-3 football game. First half. I think it's going to be a very physical football game. And I think what's going to catch up to Notre Dame is going to be the fact that they don't rotate guys a lot defensively versus Georgia really hasn't had the choice to this year. Like they've had to because of injuries. but Kirby's always does a good job of establishing that early in the year. I think those guys are going to be more
So
fresh
do you
and
think
ready to go.
Do you think their defense is scheming well against our offense? Like, do you think they have Gunner just figured out in the first half?
No. It's
What do you
not
think?
that per se. I think it's just our offensive line is going to get whooped a little to start.
Okay.
I do. I do respect the Marcus Freeman defensive-minded physicality. I think second half is where you realize Marcus Freeman is still a pup, right, and doesn't understand the big coaching thing yet, versus Kirby, who's been there before
Right.
and does understand it. And I think I see Georgia take it away with it and will put up like 21 unanswered points and win that 27-10, 27-7, 30-13 range.
Yeah.
Like I do see that occurring. Now the defensive MVP, and this is I hope this is a surprise, is going to be no one other in my call is C.J. Allen. I think C.J. Allen's going to be tasked in being a spy on Riley Leonard, and Riley Leonard's going to be really confused when there's a guy who looking across from that 6'3", 225 and runs a 4.4 and is mauling him, and that's going to force Notre Dame to have to throw the football.
Scary.
Right,
Those are
and
fast.
they're not going to be effective with throwing the
We
football.
cover some ground.
Right, but like that, C.J. Allen's going to be the turning point for
Right.
me.
Yeah.
How
I
he
love
plays will determine the game. From the offensive perspective, I'm gonna ride him. If you want to go man to man with Arian Smith, right? He may drop 5, but he's gonna have 5 long ones.
A-Train.
Right. I do think he's gonna have a touchdown, maybe 2, but I am guaranteeing second half he'll have a 75+ yard shot bomb.
Let's go. Woo, I'm fired up. All right, Jesse, what do you think?
I think they're going to come out running the ball. I think Georgia's going to stack the box and just force them to throw the ball because that's kind of all you need to do. Force them to throw the ball. And then offensively, I think Georgia's going to run the ball. I think it's going to be a lot of RPO with Gunner and Frazier and ETN, and then I think you're going to see some deep balls. There's some deep shots mixed in there with Arian because Gunner has a hose, and they're just going to throw a lot of that play action and RPO type stuff right at them, and it's just going to be 4 or 5 yards here and there, nickel and dime down the field. Win the time of possession. That's what you got to do. You got a new quarterback. Win the time of possession. Don't turn the ball over. Keep your defense fresh. Watch what happens. Be great.
Yeah.
Be good.
I think that they really, I think they have an image of what they think Gunner's going to be in play, and I think we're going to totally just like open the floodgates with throwing the ball, and I think they're just going to be like, why can't we keep up number 11, and why is this number 6 running drag routes and we can't stop it?
Yeah.
And I think we let Gunner.
Tight ends. They got 2 tight ends.
Dude, Delp's about to have
Lucky.
Delp. So Delp is I know I just said I think Arian Smith's going to have a crazy game, and I do. And if he does, he will be the MVP. But the other guy I really think will be the MVP is Oscar Delp. And we've seen flashes of Delp, and we thought Delp coming in this year was going to be like, not obviously no one will ever be as good as Brock Bowers, but we thought he was going to be more of a physicality role as a receiver, catching the ball. And we've seen this a little bit towards the late half of the year with Delp. When Delp has a ball in his hands, he's really good with the ball. Like he hurdles, he jukes, he stays up on his feet, he runs guys over, he throws a nasty stiff arm. Like he's very balanced, he's a good runner. And what's cool to me is like you saw Gunner throw like a lot of balls at Delp's way. Dude, they're roommates. They've been roommates for 3 years.
Yeah.
And I think like my best friend Kale Horn, like when we were growing, like obviously this is just like rec football and like ninth grade football and stuff, but like, dude, no offense to my boy Kale, but dude runs in cement, right? Like dude was slower than dog Christmas, but I was always looking for Kale because I knew me and Kale had the connection. Like he knew what I was thinking, I knew what he was thinking, and I think you're gonna have the same thing with Gunner and Delp. They're just gonna be on the same wavelength. Like they're going to be understanding where each other's like minds are going, and they're going to be running these option routes in the same spot. I think Delp could play a very big role, and I think that we just airmail it on him. So
yeah, no, I agree. My thing with Delp though is everyone coming off Brock Bowers not expected, but had this persona that they thought Delp could be Brock Bowers. When in reality, I think he's more like a Horse and Charles. Right, like he's such a good pass blocker, run blocker, and does that so efficiently and can sneak out and make the big catch when needed. So I think Delp is so valuable in that aspect. It's just we all got caught up in the romance of having the best tight end
We
in
just
the
wanted
NFL right
Bowers
now.
back again.
Yeah, I know.
We just wanted Brock back 2 times. Yeah. So, what do we think about the end of the game? So we're playing Notre Dame, Boise, and Penn State, which is gonna maybe make me want to put bleach in my eyeballs.
Let's do that. Let's finish it up with the picks of the other games.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about what do we think. What do we think about these picks about the other games, Brandon? Lead us off. Okay. I'm about to take the beanbag away from you. You're falling asleep over there.
Dude, this beanbag's nice. The University of Ohio State comes out and beats Oregon.
What's the score prediction?
I think it's gonna be another close one. I say they win by 4.
Okay. 4.
What's the other game? I think what's the spread in Texas? The spread in the Texas game's 13. I think Texas wins, but I think Scattaboo has a game.
Agreed.
I think Scattaboo's gonna have 2 tutties. Don't know how many yards he'll have, but that's a physical dude right there.
Yeah. I could see him.
I'll take Texas by 10.
Okay.
Or less. I don't think they cover 13. Now they might blow them out, and I could see them blowing them out easy. But I think Scattaboo keeps Arizona State in the game. But Arizona State's without their best wide receiver also, so that's something to take into consideration. And then what's the other game? Penn State and Boise.
Yeah.
Could care less. The spread's 11. Nobody cares. But Ashton Genty is breaking the rushing yards record.
Come on, give it to him.
It's coming.
Sorry, Travis Hunter. I hope you and your girl figure out.
Yeah, so I think that happens. And then on a side note of breaking rushing records, mainly because I have this guy on my fantasy team also, I pray Saquon breaks that NFL rushing record too, dude. That would be such an accomplishment. I mean, he deserves it. But I think Penn State probably wins by I don't know how Penn State wins, but I could care less about that game. That's gonna be so boring. Be like watching paint dry.
Yeah. Yeah. And then obviously dogs.
Oh yeah,
Dogs by over 10 is what you say there. Go ahead, Deebs.
Dogs obviously over 13.5.
The dog spread's 1.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say
He's saying over 13 and a half, so it's
13.5.
going to be, yeah.
Penn State and Boise State, I think, is going to be such a boring game because both offenses are pretty the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to establish the run. It's slow. It's methodical. But I think where they're going to have the edge is Boise State doesn't have a wannabe pretty boy at QB like Drew Aller is. And I think Drew Aller will lose that game for Penn State. So I am going to take Boise State.
Let's go!
I'm going to take Boise. I think the disrespect.
What's the Boise State saying? Do they have a saying?
I don't know. Go Broncos. I don't know.
Go blue.
Go
Blue football field.
Blue football field, buck up.
Yeah, no, I'm going to take Boise.
Shut the buck up.
We're not Mormon.
Shut the buck up, like a horse. Sorry.
As far as Texas and Arizona State go, Texas will win by over 17.5. Scattaboo will have under 70 rushing yards. He may have a touchdown. The reason I say that is because Texas is going to stack the box, and they're going to look at Arizona State and say, you're going to have to beat us throwing it, and you're not going to run it all night.
You guys suck.
Yeah, you're going to have to throw the football. And if you beat us throwing the football, we'll tip our cap. But you're not going to run it. And they're not going to on that front four of Texas. It's going to be bad. As far as Ohio State and Oregon, here we go. Ryan Day, big game, top 5 team. He's got a chance to change the narrative, but he fails to once again. Oregon
choke again.
Oregon is definitely gonna beat him. I think Dan Lanning is Ryan Day's big brother.
I hope
I
you're
think
right.
everyone has to start seeing that. That's the Big Ten in the making.
Right.
Oregon will win by 4.5. I see them winning 38-34.
This is part 2, by the way. The second time they
31,
played.
42-35. Like I see them beating them.
Second time they played.
This is the second time they played. The difference is you just went all out and showed your entire playbook to win a game at home. You just showed what you look like at your absolute best. You don't think for a second
flawless football.
Last 13 or 10 days, that Dan Lanning hasn't been preparing for that.
Travion Henderson over Judkins, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That being
Stud.
said, Dylan Gabriel, like Jesse said, like quarterback play matters.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel will be the better quarterback that day, and that's why they're going to win.
I respect it. I hope you're right.
So those are my 4 picks: Boise, Georgia, Texas, Oregon.
Okay, love it. J Moski, Bubba?
I got Penn State beating Boise State tomorrow night. I think it's gonna be a good game for the first, I don't know, 50 minutes.
50?
Yeah, and then the final 10 are just. I think Penn State's got too much depth.
You think Penn State is going to
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be running, like a lot of running to run the ball. I think it's gonna be like a close game, good game. I mean, Boise State might even be leading, but Penn State wins the game at the end just because they have more depth, so they're able to kind of like lean on them a little bit more.
Yeah, but we're gonna see Ash and Genty play in the fourth quarter.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I hope Boise State
Record.
wins. I would love Boise State to keep pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Record.
Texas is gonna beat the smack out of Arizona State. I'm sorry, they're gonna beat the crap out of them, dude. Because I think my bad. I think Clemson would have beat Arizona State.
Oh wait, they're playing that game in Atlanta.
Let's go. Let's go.
In Atlanta.
Let's
Like, that's
go.
funny to
Let's
me.
go watch.
You realize the cheapest ticket to get in that game is $1,800?
18. I didn't play 18 to go watch. I would
Wait,
pay
for what?
$18.
What game?
$1,800.
Texas, Arizona.
Arizona State, Texas. It's $1,800 to go watch a game.
Bro, I sold
I would
tickets for
literally
$100
maybe-
Georgia
to the,
Notre Dame game for $40.
What are we doing?
They'd have to pay
What
me
are
to
we
go
doing?
watch
Let's
this
go to
game.
New Orleans, dude.
What?
Let's go.
What are we doing?
that's
dude?
crazy. And then the Georgia, which one have I not done? Oh, the Oregon Ohio State. I think Oregon beats them, but I think it's a good game.
I think it's gonna be the best game of all four.
Yeah, that's
you
gonna be
think
the best.
Oregon?
I got Oregon beating them. Yeah,
Do you?
yeah.
Oh wait. So you're taking Georgia over Notre Dame, unlike every ESPN analyst lately?
I take Georgia over Notre Dame. Yeah, I think Georgia just. I think
See,
Georgia has a better
everybody-
defense.
Everybody
Who's that
thinks
dumb CBS analyst?
all of them?
Which one?
The one that said Notre Dame was going to roll Georgia.
Yeah, that just they're just.
Oh
After Notre Dame
yeah.
beat the snap
Oh
out of-
my
Yeah.
God! I
That was
wanted.
like right after Notre
I
Dame
wanted to
beat
take a
Indiana.
Raiders.
It was
Raider
so
scooter
funny.
and hit
He
me in
said
the
better
ankle.
at every phase.
Everything, every phase.
There is no team that prides more on special teams than Kirby Smart. All right, defensively, you're talking about the best defensive mind in college football since 2008. You're not
probably of
beating
all
him,
time.
right?
Kirby Smart's
He's up there, but since 08,
defensive
I'm gonna
coordinator
give
of
it to
all
him
time.
for sure.
Yeah.
Right, when Saban gave that boy that DC job, he never looked back.
Yeah.
And he hasn't. All right, and then offensively, you're about to figure out why Notre Dame decided to stay independent and why Mike Bobo should keep this job.
Ooh.
Brandon's fuming.
You're also going to see though
I'm about
that
to have a stroke after hearing that.
what's the benefit of having a hard schedule? We're about to find out.
Yeah, it's true.
We're about to find out.
You're battle tested,
Guess
man.
what? We've already
Used
played
to big
some
games. That's the biggest thing too. Season break. That was probably the biggest thing that seemed noticeable between Texas and Georgia in the SEC championship. Georgia looked like they had been there before.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude,
That was nasty.
Even with a quarterback that hasn't been there
Watch
before.
this. That was nasty.
Yeah, that was sick.
That
Hook
They
and
were
ladder.
hook and ladder. Yeah.
Sorry.
I have him on the bench this week, and he's got 2 touchdowns already.
Wow, a little Alabama receiver action there.
Hey, can I say one
Oh,
thing?
and he
about
just broke
Mike
his ankle
Bobo,
again.
Please.
Yeah.
So this is a funny story.
It turns out that Mike Bobo came to my church for Christmas Eve, and he was late, so he was in the overflow room. He should be glad I did not see that man, because I would have went up to him and let him know how I felt. I
He
can't
wouldn't
stand
have cared.
him.
Yep, in church. I'm sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said, no, we're in church. I'm going to keep it holy. But I would have let him know, you suck. Do better.
Yeah, I'm
And then I would have shook his hand and said, have a Merry Christmas with your family tomorrow, bud.
you're in my prayers.
Yeah,
You're on the dark side of my
Yeah.
prayers.
Probably not.
You're on the dark side of my
That
prayers.
wouldn't have
I hate
happened.
you, Bobo. Okay, Jesse, what was your? So you said Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State, Texas, Oregon, Georgia.
Okay,
And those picks are.
I'm going dogs by a lot. I'm going Boise State, and then I'm gonna text Coach McDaniel right away and say, "I told you Travis deserved the Heisman."
Travis?
No, excuse me. Wow, that just
You just ruined that point.
well, obviously you knew I meant Genty because Travis is cooked. And then I'm gonna go. Texas beats the living snot out of Arizona State, and it's not even close. And I think they give Scattaboo 30 to 40 carries, and I think he does have a couple. I think I'll give him 2 touchdowns, and they're going to be very late, and it's going to be a 54 to 14 game, and they're going to score 2 touchdowns, and I think it's just a bloodbath. And then I'm going Ohio State over Oregon. Part 2, the first time it was a very close game at Oregon. Ohio State is on fire right now. I hope Dan Lanning can win because I really hate Ohio State. But Ohio State showed a lot of depth and versatility, and they showed why they spent so much money. And it didn't really seem like the coaching mattered in that game against Tennessee. It seemed more like, hey, we're going to get out of the way and let you guys just play football. And it seemed like if they can kind of hold that vibe, I think they'll beat Oregon. But I hope Oregon wins. I think Ohio State wins. And I think we can walk the dog all the way to the Natty. But we'll see.
Real fast, Bo. To any NFL GM that's going to watch this, because obviously you are, I have one question. How can you expect Travis Hunter to lock down a wide receiver when he can't even lock down his own girl?
Dude. No, the funniest comment I've ever saw, the funniest comment I've ever seen was somebody saying Travis Hunter's going to be the first guy to lose stock because of his girlfriend. He's falling in the draft because of his girlfriend, man. Poor fella. I feel for him, but at the same time, what an idiot. Like, dude, come on, man. Come on, man. Take a hit. Like, get out of there. Have some
The funniest one I
self-worth.
saw was like all the videos.
You're a
people were
stud.
commenting saying, Travis about to go on live and say, I dropped her off. I was in the car. Like, get out of our relationship.
Yeah, I was watching. I was the one taking the pictures. Yeah, I feel bad for Travis Hunter, but at the same time,
God,
Ashton
I hate
Genty
that
deserved the
for him, dude.
Heisman, and I think it was he got robbed. So,
He got robbed.
did we think? All right, last thing, and then we're done. Who do you think NFL MVP is?
Well, I hear all these people saying that it should be Josh Allen, and nobody loves Josh Allen more than I do. But
Steinfeld does.
well, yeah, probably that too. But a sleeper who's not even in the top like two, because obviously right now I think it's a two-person race, Lamar and Josh Allen. Joe Burrow is having a freaking year, but he won't even be in consideration. But Joe Burrow should be in the consideration for the MVP.
Yeah.
But with that being said, if you look at the stats and all that, it'll probably be Lamar for back-to-back MVPs or whatever.
I wanna pick Lamar
Joe Burrow,
Jackson.
huh, Jesse?
I want to pick Lamar Jackson. I'm a huge Lamar Jackson guy. I'm a huge Lamar fan. I love Lamar Jackson. But I'll be honest. If anyone I think truly does deserve it, just because of what's about to occur, I think Saquon Barkley should be getting a lot more recognition than what he's getting, and Joe Burrow as well. He deserves it. But like to say Josh
I wish
Allen
he'd be an MVP.
needs to be the MVP is unreal. The guy's got more arm punts this year than I think I've ever seen in my life.
Arm punts. That's funny. That's a good term. I like that. Jesse, who do you think?
Saquon will win offensive.
Arm punts?
Arm punts.
It's where you throw the football 50 yards and gets picked
Picked
off
off.
like a three.
Yeah.
'cause
Third
you're
down,
throwing
you just
it up.
chunk it a Hail Mary and you get
Yeah.
picked off.
Who does that?
Nobody
Josh-
like Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Nobody like Josh Allen. That was good. Oh,
I think Lamar should win it.
oh, but hey, Joe Burrow's playing good, right, this year?
Yes, dude.
Has he?
Joe Burrow is
He's good at football.
Is Joe Burrow?
He's real good at football.
All right.
They got like the best
just-
quarterback. He's got like the best.
Wait. Hey, who's winning the Big 12 next year?
Colorado.
I just wanted to know.
If it exists, what if the Big 12 doesn't exist next year?
So,
Well,
Do
I'm
I not
just
owe you any
amazed
money?
because
Brandon,
Ju-
tis the season. I'm going to give you a chance right now to say I was right on this, and I will let you out of the bet.
To say, what do I got to do?
You just have
I'll do
to
whatever
say-
I got to
Why'd
do.
you say maybe?
Colorado was
I
so
didn't
bad.
bet he did.
What do I got to say?
Listen to this.
He ain't talking.
So like, all you have to say is, this was Deion Sanders' peak. They're not going to be good with Juju Lewis, and they have no
They're
chance
not.
winning the Big 12.
This was.
Nah, I can't say that. That's a lot.
Hey, so back to the MVP conversation. Just our shirts say that stats don't matter, but whatever.
No,
Ju-
stats are for losers.
Okay, well I'm a loser then. Joe
Yeah, you
Burrow
are.
has 400 yards more passing than anyone in the NFL, and he has 3 more passing touchdowns than anybody. He's first. Baker Mayfield second. Joe Burrow, by the numbers, should win the MVP, but he's not even being in consideration.
I just hate it for Joe Burrow because, like, imagine going out every week and throwing like 400 plus yards with like 3 to 4 tutties, and you lose like 49 to 45.
Yeah.
Not only that, you're doing that to the best. Like, isn't Jamar Chase on track
Where's
to win the
Mahomes
Triple
in that?
Crown. Yeah, like you're doing it to the best
Poor
receiver
him.
in the league. This
Hey,
year.
do you realize that the
Pull it up.
Is
if you-
Jamar
I saw
Chase
this
the
stat
top
the other
receiver
day,
too?
Pull up Mahomes.
The Chiefs have not scored more than 30 points in a game this year.
Pull up Mahomes.
They're one of, like,
they're
3 teams.
They're one of 4 teams. The other
Yeah.
4 teams are all losing records.
You realize like the Chiefs are like
Pull up
in like
Mahomes.
8 games like 3 or less points away from like having a losing record.
Yeah,
That's why I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl.
they should have lost to the Falcons.
Patrick Mahomes is 7th in passing yards.
All right, so
But he only
yeah,
has 26
I'm just-
passing touchdowns. That's half of what Burrow has.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Just because me and Jesse had a conversation about how at the beginning of the year he said Joe Burrow was washed and will never be good again.
That's crazy.
No, it's
That's crazy.
I will get a
Crazy.
video of Coach Worley who was right there, and y'all were texting me when Mahomes won the first game. Like,
Mahomes is
are you sure Mahomes isn't the best quarterback? I was like, man, Joe Burrow is pretty nice. Like you guys, I remember even said like I'm pretty sure Bengals fan would rather have Mahomes than Joe Burrow. And I was like, okay,
Well,
But
the
that's
Bengals
just-
fans
that's
about
cool,
to fire
bro.
Zach Taylor, bro.
that's
They
cool.
better.
All right, my MVP pick, Saquon Barkley. It's impressive what you're doing, and
yeah.
everybody knows that when you touch the ball, it's just dangerous. So,
My MVP pick: Lad McConkey and Brock Bowers.
dude,
First
oh yeah,
two-time.
rookie of the year. Who's rookie of the year? Yeah, one more.
Oh, Jaden Daniels, rookie of the year.
Jaden Daniels.
I'm biased. Brock Bowers. All right.
Defensive rookie of the
All
year.
right. Well, good episode. Go Dogs. We'll meet again.
Terry
next
on
week.
Arnold.
We'll meet again next week. Hopefully, our picks go as we hope. So, Hallmark movies in play. Lights, camera, action, set. Deuces.
Good night.
See you guys next week.
Bye, guys. Brandon's already leaving.